Now, I've come over to the team at Herongrange here at UK Construction Week, whose main aim is to make sites just that little bit safer for everyone. And I'm obsessed with this turnstile. There we go, I'm officially logged on to site now, and I'm here and joined by Frank and Mike and the gorgeous Poppy, the star of the show, who will meet in just a second to find out a little bit more about what they do. So Frank, thanks so much for joining us. Mike, thank you as well.
See you.
Yeah, you too. Let's start with you, Frank. What is it that you do here at Herongrange?
We do security for construction sites. What you've just done, clocking into the turnstile, would normally get you onto the roll call, so it knows who you are, who you work for, what time you went through, what certification you've got, when it expires, whether you're a fire marshal, whether you're a first aider. So you've clocked on, you'll go and do your thing, and at the end of the day you'll clock off, and it knows then how many hours and minutes you've done or not. It knows that you've been safe. Should there be an event during the day, then the site team will know to come looking for you because you're on that roll call. So they want to make sure that you're safe in the event of that incident on site.
No, it's really, actually it's so intelligent that you can do that just from one machine. And I think, the real focus being on safety, it's so important that, in the case of an emergency, whether that's a fire or something, straight to this, sorted, you know where they are, what they were doing, and make sure that they're safe.
It works both ways. It works for the operator of the system, normally our main client, but it also works for the individuals. So the guys who are on site know that if something goes down, they will get saved. They know it will restrict entry to people who aren't allowed on site. So their tools are going to be safe. So they're going to have a nice, safe working environment. It means that any certification they've got, whether it's health and safety certification or operating machinery, when that expires and they really shouldn't be working on site, they're not going to be allowed through the turnstile, which again means that the individuals on site are going to be safe. I'm working in a safe environment. I'm not going to have people around me doing stuff that they shouldn't do or that they're not trained on. So it works from a health and safety and liability basis, as well as I can get home to my kids at the end of the day basis, which is a nice balance to have.
Absolutely, and I know when you sometimes mention health and safety, it's not always the first thing that people go, oh, brilliant. But actually, some of the innovations that you've got are really actually quite exciting.
They are, yes. It's we try to take account of all the different contingencies. So there's lots of things that can happen on a construction site. The site teams are always trying to be prepared for the thing that happens, and whether that's a fire or a disaster or something that happens nearby, they need to be able to manage the workforce actively and be prepared for that. And it's not a surprise when it happens on the day. So they're planning for these events all the time in the hope that they don't happen. But should it actually happen, they've got processes in place to be able to make sure everyone's safe and it all works end to end.
And that's so important.
It is.
But that's not the only thing you do. I can't be here without mentioning the star of the show, who we've got here, the gorgeous Poppy.
She steals the show every time. I have to melt into the background, a little bit like Mike does.
Well, in which case, I'm going to pop over and just have a chat with Mike quickly. We'll come back to you in a second, Frank. But and of course to Poppy. Hello, Poppy. Hello. Oh, sorry, I'm distracted now. We will come back to you in a second, Mike. She's absolutely gorgeous. But that aside, being a gorgeous, cute dog, Sprocker, I believe.
She is a Sprocker Spaniel. She's 4 years old, and she's been with me since she was 8 months old.
Brilliant. So why is she here? She's the only dog on site.
She is, because what we offer is, in line with Frank's conversation on safety, we provide a detection dog to the construction industry to make sure everyone on site operating heavy plant is safe and free from illegal substances.
Okay, so this is really interesting because it's not the traditional way of doing things. So what was the traditional way, and why is this a slightly more beneficial using someone like Poppy?
The traditional way is taking a urine sample on a regular basis from every employee on site. It's time consuming, it's very expensive, it's inaccurate, and it's very invasive. Using Poppy is quicker and cheaper, and you get a cute dog on your site, which makes everybody's day.
Yeah, and it so is, and I think it's really important things you mentioned there, because it is quite invasive when you are doing these tests, and whether that's a prescription drug or perhaps people who need medication for mental health or neurodiversity, perhaps this is a much less invasive way of doing it. So it must be a positive thing.
It is a positive thing. Site safety is really important. Mental health is also really important. So these key things come together, and unfortunately, illegal substances are found more and more in the workplace. By having the dog detect, it's less invasive, so it doesn't cause embarrassment like the traditional methods.
Amazing. And like you say, a cute dog on site is never going to be a bad thing.
No, people struggle to get some work done because everyone wants to say hello. She needs a bath after every site visit because they're always muddy and wet. But she enjoys it, and we enjoy it, and we're doing our little bit to make sites safer.
Amazing. Mike, thank you so much for talking to us. Poppy, you're absolutely gorgeous. Just before I leave you both, we are here at UK Construction Week. I'll come back to you for this one, Frank. Why is it important that you're here?
Well, two things. We need to tell people what it is that we do from a basic business point of view. The more people know, the more chance that we've got of being able to look after them. We can also see innovative things here that either our competitors are doing or just other people in the construction industry, where there's a gap in the market, or there's an innovation that we need to take account of with some of the other services we provide. It's a way of us being educated as well as educating people who are here.
Amazing. Oh, this is so fun. And it's so great to see such innovation within the health and safety industry. So thank you so much, both of you, all three of you, for taking the time to talk to us. But come down and have a chat with Frank and Mike and get distracted by Poppy.